sugar, spice, and everything else. These are the ingredients chosen to create the perfect little girls, but Professor McCracken accidentally added an extra ingredient to the concoction.
A can of Whoopass.
No, that seriously happened. Let's talk about how this show actually originated. Let's go back in time to the year of 1992, when a young college student by the name of Craig McCracken was working on a short animated film.
Sugar, spice, and everything nice. These were the ingredients chosen to create the perfect little girl. But Professor Utonium accidentally added a can of Whoopass to the concoction.
Let me give you some context for this. I bought this DVD on Amazon.uk. I'm in a bit of a Powerpuff Girls shopping streak right now. I ordered the season 1. Recently, I wouldn't bother to order the complete series because it is not available in the PAL region, DVD-wise. But I'll get what I can from this. Anyway, this DVD, the interesting aspect of this DVD is less to do with the actual content and more with the features, the extra features. Because among the features, there happens to be the original pilot of the show. Again, made by Craig McCracken. And you'll be interested to know that the Powerpuff Girls weren't always the Powerpuff Girls. There was a time in which they were called the Whoopass Girls. Yes.
Thus, the Whoopass girls were born. Using their ultra superpowers, Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup have dedicated their lives to fighting crime and the forces of evil.
Move over, Austin 316. Craig 316 did it first.
I just whipped your ass!
So now, let's review this original cartoon that started it all. This is Whoopass Stew. The then so-called Whoopass girls had pretty much the same origin story we're used to hear over and over again at the beginning of every episode, with the fairly noticeable difference of good old Professor Utonium looking more like a mishmashed crisscross between Dr. Fred Edison and Dexter the Boy Genius. Also, the Chemical X used to be Power First, apparently.
Hey! Do you want to feel so energetic? Try Power Thirst! Energy drinks for people who need gratuitous amounts of energy!
Through the magic of science and energy drinks, our beloved superpowered kindergarteners are born. Hey look, it's the Gangrene Gang. It's funny to imagine they were the very first rogues in the now sizable rogue gallery of the then relatively soon to emerge pop cultural phenomenon that the Powerpuff Girls would turn out to be. Although there's something that always baffled me about those boys. In the context of the show, they wound up being just a bunch of juvenile delinquents whose biggest acts of criminality would range from general vandalism to phone pranks. Logically speaking, they shouldn't pose as a legitimate threat to a trio of superheroines that deal with egomaniacal monkeys bent on world domination, the weekly attacking giant monster, and the devil himself on a regular basis. Yet, surprisingly, the writers of the show managed to find more creative ways to put them into good use than most of the other, far more interesting, majorly recurring villains, short of good old Mojo Jojo, of course. There is not a point to this tirade, I just thought it was interesting to acknowledge it.
Whoopass stew!
I just whipped your ass!
After the introduction to Whoopass stew is done with, we get to the real meat of the short. The Amoeba Boys successfully robbing a bank! If you, like me, are a hardcore PPG connoisseur to the point of manic binge marathon related perusing of its episodes, then you'll probably remember the Amoeba Boys as the most laughably incompetent joke villains in the show. The very idea that Craig McCracken's original design for these characters was to have them being decent antagonists who could actually repel the girls' fists with their unique molecular composition is mind-blowing to say the least. Anyway, our intrepid heroines figured out their enemy's weakness pretty easily and then proceeded to bring them closer to the sun, thus once again saving the day, for the very first time, of many, many times. So that was Whoopass Stew, a rough, amateurish work made by a then unknown college student that shows a lot of raw potential and talent, which will proceed to set the very foundation to that cartoon series that we would come to love. Thankfully, they changed the name. That's it?
The day is saved! Watch out for another red-hot episode of Whoopass Stew!
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.